Something startling has come to my attention, and it's come from a very unlikely source. A rapper known as B.O.B. He's pointed out that we have no idea what the shape of the Earth is, and we've all been fooled into thinking it's a big sphere, where in reality it's a big flat pancake. Now this is very troubling to me because with all of the enormous amount of scientific progress that's happening, all of the great experiments which are probing the very smallest scales in physics, and all of the great advances in medical technologies and everything in between, it seems so disturbing to me that no one thought of checking out what the shape of the Earth actually was. It's just so mind-boggling, because if no one's done it before, then surely you've got an instant Nobel Prize waiting for you if you worked out what the shape of the Earth really was. Well, the truth of the matter is, the shape of the Earth was worked out a few thousand years ago by a guy called Erastosthenese. He was able to work out the shape of the Earth based off a stick, a well, and some shadows. A good explanation of how he did this can be found in the original Cosmos series, but we won't go into that here. We'll simply bring up some more evidence to support a spherical Earth. Now, spherical Earth is a natural result of the laws of physics, primarily the law of gravitation, which says that all matter attracts every other piece of matter. So if you accumulate so much matter into one area, the natural tendency for that matter is to pull into a big sphere, a big ball in space. Now we can see this in the moon, we can see this in the planets, and we can also see this in the stars. So why wouldn't it be applicable to Earth and the Earth be flat? The answer is it's not. The Earth is spherical. There are lots of other things like geology which require a spherical Earth. So plate tectonics, so plates all move around a spherical Earth. If the Earth was flat, you would run the risk of a plate eventually slipping off the edge of the Earth and disappearing out into space. We can also work out the Earth is spherical by seismic waves, by earthquakes. Now across the Earth there are many hundreds of different seismic detectors. And when an earthquake happens on the Earth and all the seismic detectors pick up this earthquake, you can reconstruct where that earthquake occurred from a mathematical model that uses the fact the Earth is a sphere. If the Earth was flat, you wouldn't get the right location of where the earthquake actually happened. So it's a pretty well understood part of physics and geology. Of course, the immediate rebuttal to that is that physics and geology are areas of science, and all scientists have had their minds corrupted with the status quo and have been indoctrinated into some global conspiracy of the Earth being a sphere. The thing is, science doesn't actually care what you think or feel or believe. Science is the pursuit of the true nature of nature. So although personal opinions might halt scientific progress and influence its path for short periods of time, say around 100 years, eventually the true aspects of nature win out, and experiments and data guide science towards the true reality of the universe. So even if there was a conspiracy which said that the Earth was spherical, over time people would find enough data and enough evidence to show that the Earth wasn't a sphere and that it was flat. But quite the opposite has happened. Then away from science is the obvious things of if you flew or walked or sailed or drove too far in one direction, you would fall off the edge of the Earth. And given thousands of people don't die a year from falling off the edge of the Earth, I would be inclined to say that the Earth is a sphere. So unfortunately, B.O.B, nature just doesn't seem to agree with you, and it looks like the Earth is quite easily defined as a sphere.